Government adjusts voting district boundaries. Manichan wants to end corporal punishment. And BP selected to market lease accrued. I'm Rico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Today, Minister Tom Lal announced that the government will be extending some constituency boundaries and revert others to the 2016 local district boundaries for the 2023 local government elections. The minister claimed that in 2018, APNU moved many of the boundaries ahead of the polls to disenfranchise PPP supporters. As such, he believes that the move to readjust the boundaries will ensure greater representation. For his people, I'm sure. With the new changes, there will now be more councillors. There are currently 1,192 councillors representing the 596 constituency areas. But in 2023, the minister explained there will be 1,220 councillors and 610 constituency areas. Ah yes, good old gerrymandering, every politician's favourite pastime. The police are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the fatal explosion at a work site at Leeds Village Quarantine, Berbice. The accident killed 52-year-old Oliver France and hospitalized 25-year-old Jamal Rose. According to reports, they were hired to clean and tile a concrete water tank, and at some point the two reportedly used gasoline to remove tar from inside the structure. And supposedly someone around was using an electric saw, which might have caused a spark which they suspect has caused the explosion. Nevertheless, it is still under investigation. Also in Berbice, firefighters responded to a building fire at the No. 8 primary school in West Coast Berbice this morning. When firefighters arrived at the scene at around 8:30 a.m., they discovered multiple pockets of fire in a storage closet on the school's premises. The firefighters were successful in restricting the fire to that room, where it was extinguished. School materials, culinary utensils, and detergents were all ruined in the process. There, however, were no reports of injuries. A company paid $132 million to upgrade the Bedford-Wagton to Triumph East Coast Demerara Road project has disappeared. According to the Auditor General's 2021 report, the Ministry of Public Works overpaid $112 million on a deal inked in 2015. The sum has yet to be retrieved. According to the report, the contractor was paid a total of $132.65 million, of which $20.65 million was refunded to the government. The contractor was written to several times to request that the money be returned, but to no avail. According to the head of the budget agency, the firm was dissolved, and guidance from the Ministry of Legal Affairs was sought on the next steps. Education Minister Priya Manichan said she believes that it is time that Guyana decides on a definitive position on corporal punishment in schools. Manichan recalled that nationwide consultations in 2012 showed the appetite to abolish violently disciplining children in schools was not there at the time, a position which she believes has since changed. The Education Minister is contending there should be limited imposition of corporal punishment in institutions such as schools. Regulations currently stipulate that only head teachers are authorized to administer corporal punishment. She has said that someone delegated by a head teacher could also administer corporal punishment, but only in circumstances with other specifications. According to the minister, if those regulations had been followed strictly, abuse wouldn't even be an issue. Nevertheless, the minister has noted that a number of teachers have been fired annually by the Teaching Service Commission for breaching those regulations on hitting students. You're a hard-working truck owner. That's why you need only quality parts for your truck. But you might be asking, Noriko, now how will I ever afford them? Well, my friend, you need to go to Powered Automotive. They stock parts from Mark, International, Bedford TM, and all models of Cummins engines. Treat your truck right. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck part at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck part store in Guyana. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. 28-year-old Nicholas Palkissoon has been charged and fined by the courts after he was recorded assaulting a cop in a police station following his arrest for drunk driving. Palkissoon grabbed a police officer by the shirt and pushed him against a wall after the officer took away his cell phone during the arrest. The police force said Palkissoon was charged for disorderly behavior, assaulting a peace officer, and driving under the influence of alcohol. He pleaded guilty to all three charges. He was fined $10,000 for assaulting the policeman. That's frighteningly cheap. $10,000 for disorderly conduct, and $7,500 for driving under the influence. All of those frighteningly cheap. Anyway, he will also face 2 additional charges, one for damage of property and the other for abusive language. The police are currently on the hunt for a man who is accused of fatally stabbing a 32-year-old resident of Riverview, Rumfeld, Georgetown early this morning. According to reports, the victim's throat was slashed during an argument with the suspect. The police did not yet release any information. The Guyana Teachers Union has requested that the president consult with the teachers union and raise teacher wages. While applauding the government's decision to raise salaries for joint services personnel, the GTU expressed disappointment that teachers, who have long struggled with low pay, did not receive equivalent raises. The GTU claimed that because it believes the nation can afford to pay teachers a living wage, the issue of affordability is no longer relevant. All government employees, including teachers, will receive an 8% retroactive salary raise, the president recently declared. However, that increase is also criticized by the GTU as being insufficient. Now for today's oil update. BP has been selected to market Guyana's share of petroleum from the Liza Destiny and Liza Unity vessels. The government, through the Ministry of Natural Resources, made the announcement on Thursday, explaining that BP International was selected following a competitive procurement process. It replaces Aramco Trading Limited. The contract begins next month and will be active for a period of 12 months. In addition to marketing the crude, BP International is expected to provide support and guidance to the government in managing cost-effective crude operations. The prospect of collaboration between Guyana and Trinidad in the oil and gas sector has surfaced yet again. Recently, the Trinidad Guardian reported that in pursuit of its mission of promoting the Twin Island Republic's energy sector and accelerate the export of its services, the National Energy Company said it would be targeting the 2023 Guyana Energy Conference and Expo, the 2023 Suriname Oil and Gas Summit, and the 2023 Offshore Technology Conference in Houston, all 3 of which Guyana will be in attendance.
As an independent online news entity, being politically objective can cost you a lot of money in lost sponsorship opportunities. That's because most local companies are often too scared to associate themselves with a news entity that is uncompromising with the truth. We do appreciate our sponsors, as their support is what has allowed us to maintain our integrity without fear and remain dedicated to you, our viewers. Every night, thousands of viewers rely on Uncut News because they are tired of the biased and poorly presented mainstream media in Guyana. But to truly compete, we need your help to grow Uncut News from being the most watched online news to the most watched news in Guyana, period. Help us by becoming a monthly subscriber today. There are special rewards at every subscription level, including your name in the credits, personalized gifts, and more. Your monthly contribution helps us to stay independent by spending less time worrying about paying the bills and more time on keeping you informed. So click the link in the description of this video and become a subscriber today.
It's November, which means it's officially robbery season. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, K-9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, smart camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $9.95 million. All pay as low as $1.99 million down, with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit the showrooms at Lot 171, Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2, Lamashi, and tell them we sent you for this sweet deal. It's now time for our Uncut News Views Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it plays to us. Since yesterday was Thanksgiving and we had folks in the diaspora who are viewers here, I asked, what did you do on your Thanksgiving? And Dimitri V said that he spent Thanksgiving with his family, filling their bellies. Indeed, there's no better way to spend it. Now for tonight's question. I want to know, how do you feel about corporal punishment in schools? Do you think it should be banned? Or should it be limited? Or is it fine just the way it is? I want to hear from you. So think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out on Monday for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bullfoot saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Aha! Good night, folks.